Welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Rietta.
And I'm Connie, and we are two crazy cousins talking about gossip today, because that's what we do in our family, basically. That is our whole family, is it not?
Yep. We seriously might be the experts on gossip.
Because we've lived our lives in it, pretty much. And I think that's what happens when you have how many aunts? Pretty much too many to count.
Too many, yeah. And it's not even just the aunts, it's the uncles too.
Oh, yes, that's true. We all gossip. Let's just start off with that. Don't lie. You all gossip. Nobody is innocent of it. You're all doing it. Everyone is doing it.
That's what she said.
I was waiting for that. You were a little slow there.
Yeah, it's one of those days.
And that's fine.
Yep, so we all gossip. It's just how far we take it and our intent with it, I guess.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's just like, oh, did you know? Blank. You know, sometimes it's just like, oh, for your information. It's not really, let me tell you how I'm going to judge these people. Sometimes it's just, oh, yeah, by the way.
I actually have a perfect example of that, because I just had this conversation like 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. I was the one that let Connie know when one of our aunts passed away. And it was just a very easy way. I just texted her and I was like, hey, FYI, because I assumed she already knew. If you didn't hear from your mom, she passed. And she was like, okay. Well, it ended up working out that I told her before my mother told the rest of the siblings, which 2 weeks later turned it into, why did you blab it to Connie when I hadn't done, and, I'm getting yelled at like it was gossip, which it wasn't really gossip. It was just me passing the word.
It's just something that I needed to know and that everybody needs to know.
Yeah, but because it got to her before it got to all the other sisters, it turned into this snowball craziness. And I was like, really, guys? Really?
Well, and honestly, it's even shocking that they didn't know sooner, all of the sisters, just because of the fact that they all are on that chat. One fucking message, you would have been done. And that's what I assumed happened. I assumed mom already knew. So I told all of my brothers in a group chat, all of my brothers. Wow, like I have a million brothers. I messaged my brothers, my mom, and said it through text because I assumed they already knew, and they were pissed at me about that too. So, meh.
Yep. And that's kind of a perfect example. And I thought the same thing, too, because I knew they were in that group message. The only person that's not in that group, there's only one who claims that group messages don't work. But all the rest of them are in there. So it's like,
Wait, I know who that is, who claims group messages don't work.
Yeah, I want to look at said person's phone, but that's a totally different topic.
I know why it doesn't work. It's because they have their iMessaging off, and they believe that the iMessaging screws up their phone.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it was an easy solution. And with the time difference, too, by the time she told me, because I'm in Hawaii, it was 8 o'clock in the morning in Hawaii, which makes it, noon in Illinois. So I figured for sure everybody already knew. I kind of figured you already knew because, you talk to your mom on the regular, too, and texting makes everything so simple that I couldn't even believe.
Oh, I was told it was inappropriate to have texted that. I'm like, okay, well.
I could see that in certain situations. Like, obviously, if, like, your mother died, you're not going to text your brother and be like, hey, our mom died. That's definitely a call or in-person type thing. But we all knew it was coming.
Know. Yes.
Yeah. And we all knew it was coming. It wasn't like it was a surprise. And, I didn't say anything to you inappropriate, and you didn't say anything to your brother. It was just kind of like, hey, if you don't already know, because I assumed you already did know, this happened.
Well, and see, the thing is that, like you said, it was at noon. I am at work, but it's an important piece of information. I cannot take time out of my work to call you, but I can take the time out to just send a quick message to make sure that you guys know, although I think that you already know. Sorry, right. I was wrong, but it's what it is.
And I even told my mom, I'm like, you know that I talk to Connie on a regular. We're close. I'm not going to not tell her unless you tell me not to. And she didn't say, hey, this happened, don't tell anybody yet. She just said,
I
hey, this
haven't
happened.
told anybody. Yeah. She didn't say, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't tell anybody yet. You're the first to know. We're
Which
all
if she
assuming
said
everybody
that,
already knows.
right, which you've said, or if she'd said that, then I wouldn't have told you. But when you're my family and I'm just sharing the news, but that's even an example of it turning into a gossip type situation when it wasn't even meant to be. It became this huge ordeal, and there was no reason for it to be like that.
I've seen it spin out of control more. I think the main bigger problem with gossip, though, is that it then can become, and this is how I'm judging you, instead of this is what's going on with whomever, with me, with you, aunt's passing away. But it's at least not, because that's when I think gossip is more harmful, is when, well, this person did this and I think they're stupid for X, Y, and Z, but honey, it's not your life, not your decisions. So you'll just have to get over it because you can't tell people what to do.
Right. And the other thing is that I've noticed with gossip is people do it to make themselves look better. Like with your whole situation with the remodel, telling people that it's free when it wasn't, to make himself look like, look at this amazing thing that I did for my family member and I did it for free.
And then it wasn't. Oh, that pissed me right off because, honey, I'm paying for it. Trust me. Yeah, no, and then to be told, oh, well, people didn't think you were going to pay him. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When did I ever say I wasn't going to pay my contractor?
And what an insult, too, that they would just assume, like, oh, well, you wouldn't pay anyway. Like, excuse me? Who do you think I am?
Although I'm sure it will never be enough, but whatever.
Oh, no, it's never enough. Never satisfied.
And that's why I'll probably never do, or I never want to do such a large scale remodel ever again.
Or if you do, family will not be involved.
Yeah, I'm just like, nope. Not to this extent, because you have everybody who is listening, nobody knows how large of an extent this remodel was. It was pretty much re-teared out and replaced everything. The HVAC, the electric, the windows, everything from top to bottom was replaced and redone. Now, if I buy my next house and there's something small, yeah, I probably would still have my husband and this contractor do it if it is a smaller project. Yeah. You wanted a new vanity for your bathroom, I would do that, but a whole, like, it's just too much. And you never realize how much it is until you do it. And then you're like, wow, that took a while. It took a lot of money. It took a lot of time.
Well, and I think it also, he took out the fact, too, that how much Tom actually helped him. He leaves that part out, too.
Oh, yeah. If you ask him, it was him. And Tom was a glorified gopher. But that's actually the one thing that we really got out of it, was that Tom is 10 times more handy than he was previously, because actually we just realized that the seal in our kitchen sink is broke. And Tom already knows how to fix it. He was like, oh yeah, I can do this. No problem. I know exactly what we're going to have to do. And if this doesn't work, then I'm going to have to do this, which will be a pain, but I can do it.
That's a great way to look at it, though. That's a positive way to look at it. Like, yeah, you had some gossiping happening, but Tom learned a lot from it, and now you can do it yourself.
Yeah, and I had family members coming up to me being like, so you got this for free and you're not going to pay him? Make sure you pay him. I've already been talked to by, your contract.
I'm sure everybody.
Yes, and nobody thinks you're going to pay him. Like, what in the world? Nobody should know anything about me paying my contractor except for me and him. That's right. It.
That's the whole start of the whole thing. Like, yeah, people could know that he was helping you do the remodel, but any other factors a part of it, what Tom was doing, money-wise, is nobody's damn business.
And it's actually, I think that's one of the problems with our family. It's really hard for me to tell people, like, that's none of your business. And we talked about it before in earlier podcasts with my mom wanting me to get pregnant or whomever asking me, because it happens a lot. So when are you going to have a baby? None of your gosh darn business. Maybe I won't.
Right.
You don't know, and it's none of your business.
And like we talked about too, also on top of that, you don't know if somebody's having infertility issues. You don't know how sensitive that subject might be. You're not only being intrusive, you're being insensitive.
Which, I mean, gossip can escalate to that in an instant. From just telling somebody, oh, this is what happened, to feelings getting hurt in this family. It takes about a second. Just give it a minute. Just like that whole story that we started off with. I mean, that took pretty much a week to get to, not a week, maybe like a month to escalate it to, well, that hurt my feelings, right? Because before, everybody was just dealing with the death. Nobody was talking about any of this. And now that time has passed, it's like, well, that hurt my feelings. That shouldn't have happened.
I'm pretty sure my mom held on to it for a while and let it stew until it finally bothered her enough to be like, well, why did you turn around and tell her? And I'm like, why wouldn't I tell her? She's a part of the family. It's not like I went and posted it on Facebook for all the freaking world to see.
Yes, that's also
my
true.
Cousin that her aunt died, and you didn't tell me not to. And unless you tell me not to, that is absolutely information that I feel that she has the right to know.
For sure. 100%. 10 out of 10.
And now she's brought it up like 3 more times. Like, wow.
For real?
And I'm like, okay. Yeah, she's brought it up at least 2 more times. And I'm like, I'm not talking about this anymore.
Why?
It's over with. It's done. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the point of it now?
Yeah, what you just want to keep bringing it up just to annoy me? Like, it doesn't, it already passed. It already passed. I can't change it. Nothing can change it. If people are pissed off, that's their problem. Oh, well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is gossip in the Schrank household, because it always goes around and comes around, because they still don't let things like this go ever. Any of our aunts. It doesn't happen. It's always brought up again, and not necessarily gossip stories like your mom did this to me when we were young type of stories. We walked to school 10 miles in the snow.
Both directions, uphill.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. There's still a story. At one point, I called an aunt a name, and it wasn't on purpose. I was 10 or 11 years old, and you know my dad. My dad's he's a goofball. He likes to be funny. He makes up funny names. They're not meant to be insulting. That's just how he is. He likes to have fun with you. And I heard him call one of our aunts something. So then I did it too, because I'm 10 or 11 years old.
What was the name?
If I tell you the name, you're gonna know the aunt because it's got the name in it.
Oh, okay. Well then, I guess
I'll tell you later.
Okay, sounds good. No one else can know, but it was funny, I'm sure.
It was not anything that bad. It was just something goofy, because my dad is very goofy. Connie knows. My dad's a goof. He likes to make people laugh. He likes to have fun. And I heard him say it, and I was 10 years old, so I was like, oh, well, Dad did it, so I can do it too. She got pissed. And pissed to the point where she was yelling at me. I was bawling my eyes out, and my mom is like, what happened in 5 seconds that I went to get the car? Because this happened all while she went to go get the car. I was like, Dad did this, and I did it too because it was funny, and now she's mad, and I don't know what happened. And my mom's like, whoa, what is going on? And I still get crap from that aunt to this day that I called her names. And I'm like, oh my God, I was 10 years old, and I was doing what my dad did because I thought it was funny. And I thought we were having fun. I thought we were playing,
Well, we have aunts that you can't play with. Or at least they can't take it. They can dish it. They can't take it.
Which I didn't know at 10 years old, because I saw my dad doing it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. It was not fun at all. I mean, yelling, full bore yelling at me.
Of course.
That actually, we'll just spin that into where we were going to go. of ways to handle it when people gossip about you or when you hear gossip, because obviously you could carry it along and keep passing the gossip along, or you could handle it different ways. And Connie already gave a really good example about just kind of just letting it roll off, just being like, eh.
Well, yeah. I mean, for the contractor one, it was a little bit of he can say what he wants, and a little bit of also telling people, like, no, of course I'm going to pay him, and it's none of your business. It was a little bit of both with that one, for sure. Because I didn't want somebody to think that I'm taking advantage of family members, because that's not cool.
No. Yeah, so that's a good example, too, of another way to handle it. Obviously, if somebody's gossiping about you, and maybe part of the story is true, but, like, obviously he did the remodel, but the fact that it was free was not true. So you can obviously say, hey, you know, not that it's any of your business, but whoever told you that, it's not true. I am paying him. And, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it.
Well, and I would always say, yeah, I mean, in comparison to an actual contractor versus using a family member, I would always say, yes, this was cheaper for me. Yeah, a regular contractor with a crew of a bunch of guys is, of course, going to cost me a lot more money than just my uncle and my husband doing all of the work. Like, that's what I would tell people, like, hello. But is it free? No.
Well, free and being cheaper are two totally different things. If he was just going around saying, like, oh, I gave her a heck of a deal, that would be one thing. But him saying, oh, I did the whole thing for free, not true.
Well, because I've heard both, that he went around saying both. So that's why I would say I had different responses.
He made the mistake of saying it to me, because he was at grandma's doing something, like working on her dishwasher, and he's in there fumbling around. He's like, oh, I'm always doing free work. I just did free work over at the Maslins, and now I'm here. And I'm like, no. That's not true. And he's like, what are you talking about? What do you know? And I'm like, I talk to Connie on a regular basis, so I know the truth. And he gets all
And what did he say?
He gets all huffy. He's like, yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't seen any money yet. I'm like, oh, good grief. Because that was before it was done. And, you know, you made the deal to not start paying until it was done. So he was trying to make the excuse that since you hadn't paid him any yet, that he probably wasn't going to see any. And I'm like, that's not true.
No, that was also a lie. Because when we were about halfway done, we made quite a large payment. So that is also a lie.
I don't know if this is just based on a previous experience, because I know he had a bad experience with a different cousin and an ex-wife, supposedly. Again, could be gossip, so I don't know. Where, like, they drove all the way up there and did all this work, and then they got divorced, and it was this big thing. I'm only hearing his side of the story.
No, well, yep, it is.
But that's still.
But they say that about a lot. But they say that about a lot of people, not just me or my cousin. Because that's also been said about. That's been said about quite a few people he's done work for.
Yeah. My mom won't even let him anymore. I think he did like one thing for her, and she was like, never again.
And I think the problem is you're not really, what's not spelled out for you for littler things. I mean, we kind of talked it over when we started our larger job, but like he doesn't spell out, and this is how much I want for this, which is a problem.
Right.
So
there you go, friends. You can either let it roll off and just go about your business, share what the actual story is, and then, of course, lastly, which we kind of talked about, is you can full bore confront it, you know, and say, hey, why are you talking shit about me?
And I had to do that confrontation before with like some friends, not really with family, because I don't really particularly care. Family, they all talk, they're all gonna know your business eventually, and it's definitely something my brothers have not gotten to that point yet. Like, they absolutely hate it. I know for sure at least one of them ridiculously hates it. But it's like, we've been around this our whole lives. Everyone's going to know. You know how it is. You tell one person in our family, most of the time, then everybody will know.
Yes.
So you should be used to it that now. But friends are like a different story. And I remember particularly back in high school, I would hear from two different girls basically that the other one would be talking about me to the other one. Like they would each have their own stories about how they were talking shit about me. And each one, like, their defense was each other. Like, no, it wasn't me. It was the other girl. It was basically each girl's. I was like, you guys are full of shit. You need to stop fucking talking about you don't know at all what you're talking about, so shut the fuck up. Basically what it came down to. I mean, I probably wasn't that aggressive or swearing, because I definitely didn't swear about that. But I was like, are you guys for real?
Yeah. I had
it was about some boy, and who cares? And like, it wasn't anything that ever really mattered. But I still didn't like it, and I definitely didn't like how it was, oh, no, they were talking about you. No, they were talking about you. Like, I didn't like that back and forth thing is mainly what I wanted to stop. Like, just stop telling me. Go away. I don't care. That was my attitude for all of high school, though, was I don't care.
I had a supposed friend in high school that, like, wanted to fight me, but, like, never said it to my face. And it was just, whenever she got mad at me, would go tell one of our other friends, like, oh, well, I could kick her ass.
Oh, so
one day I finally confronted her.
That.
Yeah, so she just basically thought she was a BA, and I finally confronted her, and I was like, do you really want to fight? Because bring it. I have a black belt. I will destroy you. Not to mention the fact, not that it mattered, but she didn't have both hands. Like, she was born with a birth defect, which is fine, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But naturally, that would put her at a disadvantage. Yet somehow, she still thought that she would, like, murder me. Which is probably because I was pretty non-confrontational in high school. Most of the time, I was very passive. I let a lot of things go because I was just a very shy person. Not at all like I am now. And I think when I finally confronted her, that was, like, one of the first moments in my life that I was like, listen, B, don't talk crap about me. Don't talk about me behind my back. Don't say you're going to kick my butt unless you really plan on doing it, because I'm not listening to it anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Basically.
I'm like, why? We're supposed to be friends. Like, you're going to get mad at me like that and then tell all our other friends that you want to kick my ass? Like, who does? Like, I thought we were friends. That's not how you handle being angry with each other.
Oh, I'm thinking of one particular girl who you also know that is exactly like that.
Ooh. I'm trying to think who I know.
It was one of Luke's exes.
Of course it is.
But she would always, like, whenever we would go out when we were still friends, because we're really not particularly friends anymore. I had a very interesting relationship with that girl. But
that girl. She's just that girl now.
She is. Well, I'm not saying her name. But anyway.
Of course. It's just funny. I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, she would always say behind other people, like, I could kick her ass. Who cares? You're not going to kick or hurt anyone. Let's face it.
Yeah.
She would even be like, yeah, that's why I have my nails long and pointy. I'm going to kick their ass. Like, no, you're not going to kick anybody's butt.
First of all,
I actually don't even believe a lot of all of the girls I've heard say that. I'm like, you're just insecure, honestly, because if you really could kick somebody's butt, you definitely wouldn't be like, I'd kick your butt. You would just do it. Okay, let's face it. You would just do it.
Exactly. And having long nails has nothing to do with fighting, because if I'm gonna fight you, I'm gonna full on fight you, meaning with my fists and my legs. I'm not pulling hair and poking your eyes out with my nails. That is not fighting. That is cat fighting.
When one time somebody not confronted me, but asked me about fighting. I'm like, honey, my brother was a Marine. I roughhoused with boys. I can definitely fight. Like, if you want to fight, we'll fight. Yeah, but it definitely wouldn't be the I'm just gonna pull your hair and scratch.
Oh, I hate that.
Like,
Oh, I hate that so much. That is not fighting. Ladies, I love you, but this is no. Do not fight by pulling hair and
and I
poking people with
basically
long
and
nails.
I basically told her, do you want to go? Like, I got brothers. We're not. Uh, I'm pretty sure I could definitely take you. I'm not bragging or anything. I don't even know why she like brought it up about fighting. It's such a weird conversation to have.
That
Who
is a weird
cares?
conversation. Well, and rule number one when you learn any sort of martial arts is you never underestimate your opponent. So to start out by saying I'm going to kick your ass right away, you're underestimating your opponent and you're already putting yourself in a bad position. So, yeah, no.
Exactly.
So the whole point of that, we don't want all our listeners going out and getting into fights. Don't fight. It's not,
Because it's not
unless
worth it.
yeah, it's not
It's
worth it
stupid
unless
to
your
begin
life
with.
is in danger. Unless somebody's trying to kidnap you or your life is in danger, there's no reason for it.
Exactly.
That's when you just let it roll. Or you just laugh. I find that is a good way to handle gossip sometimes. You just fucking laugh about it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, if it's really pissing you off that bad, and it kind of goes in line with confrontation, if it's really pissing you off that bad, cut them off. Okay, you're not my friend anymore. Go the fuck away. I don't want your opinion. I don't want your gossip. You can leave me the fuck alone.
Yes, like we talked about, cutting out toxic people. If they are
I feel
constantly
like
coming
I've
at
been
you,
really sweary this
be
episode. I'm
gone.
sorry.
I know, I have too. It's because we're getting passionate. So sorry, people that don't like swear words. We can't help it. I live with a Marine, so.
And just guys in general, swear. I swear I used to never swear until I pretty much met Tom. Actually, his dad, for the first time, like this Christmas or something, was like, whoa, I've never heard you swear before. Like, he was all wide-eyed. It was great.
That's awesome. I never
Yes.
remember my mom swearing, and now she freaking swears a lot. And it still kind of catches me off guard sometimes because I'm like, you never swore, and she's like, fuck it.
I love it. And that's called getting older. No, my mom still never swears. And
I've
when
only
she
heard Grandma
does
swear
swear,
once.
same. It was great.
It was hilarious.
To
And
the
she was like,
person. Yeah, exactly. No, yes, exactly. It's even better that way. When she's like, she swore and she's like, well, I'm sorry, but it's true.
that's like I've only heard her really talk bad about somebody once. And she used the word volatile, which I was like, ooh, good word, Grandma.
Was it a person that I'm related to?
Yes.
Because that's the only time that I've ever heard her swear before. It was a person I'm related to. Wow, that's blurry.
Dang it.
But I know who it is.
I'm sure you do. Anyway.
But that is also the only time I've ever heard her swear is dealing with that person. So I assumed it was
me too. Yep, me too.
It's funny as hell.
So let's go to the other side of gossip now. Well, it wouldn't even be gossip, but if a friend or a family member shares something very intimate with you, keeping that to yourself and not turning it into gossip.
Yes, that's. I mean, yeah, that's just a good. And in general, just to not would be great. I know it's hard because I feel like it's hard for me not to hear stuff and judge or think, no, this would be a better way. So I had to stop myself and say, no. It's their life. They're doing what they want to do and they're living their best life. If that's what you want, fantastic. Stop myself and say, no. This is not, you are not their problem solver. It is not, you are not living their life. So you need to just kind of let it go. And just don't like spread it and don't tell people, oh, and this is why they're wrong and I'm right. Like, that's just not a good way to live your life or have even a good emotional state as a human being. It just weighs you down too much.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, some people have to make their own mistakes, even if you, which we've talked about before, even if you know that what they're doing might be really dumb, all you can give is your feedback, your opinion, and then let them go on their merry way.
Because opinions are like teacups. Everyone has one.
Does everybody have a teacup, though?
I don't know. That's what my professor used to say instead of asshole.
I love how you drew that out. You were trying not to say it, and then it became really long.
Sorry.
This is a good episode.
My bad.
And then, of course, the other side of that, too, which I have done numerous times in our family, like I said with the whole remodel and Connie situation, is if I hear a rumor and I know for sure that it's a rumor, I will shut that crap down. And not even just in family, too. In friends, if you hear your friend talking about your other friend and you guys are all in a group together, you can go, hey, we're all friends here, and there's no reason to be talking ish about anybody else.
Actually, you know what's hilarious is Tom literally just did that at work, of all places, because gossip can be anywhere. Yes, this guy would
gossip.
Yes, water cooler gossip or machinist gossip, I guess. I don't know. But basically, like, a guy came up to him and was like, yeah, there are suppliers that are like shutting down and limiting what they're putting out. So, we might not have jobs soon. They might have to lay people off. And Tom was like, whoa. Where did you hear this from? And he's like, well, some guys. And he was like, no. Unless you hear it from somebody from the top, you should not be spreading gossip. This is a hard enough time already. We don't need you spreading rumors. The last thing we need.
There's a lot of that going around right now because of, COVID and everything, especially like here on my side of the world in the military community. Nobody has anything better to do. Everybody's a keyboard warrior. We have these groups on Facebook where all the people in the community can, leave comments about stuff that are happening. And most of the time, they're not research comments. Like, somebody will comment, oh, the grocery store is closed today because something got contaminated. And then everybody's like, what happened? And then finally it takes, like, the 70th person on there to be like, guys, this is bullshit. Do your research. Don't just believe what you read on Facebook. Anything that's been happening here on base with closing down, stuff that's changing, the only information that I follow comes directly from the Marine Corps Base Hawaii website.
Well, that's 100% accurate. You definitely don't want to listen to gossip because I think, and especially now during this whole situation with the virus, because there was a bunch of different rumors going around at Tom's work and whether he was going to be working or not. His one buddy told him, like, oh, all of Chicago is going to be shut down. No one's going to be working. Everyone's going to be out of a job. And that's not at all what happened.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's a perfect example, too, of gossip leading into fear-mongering, trying to scare people into, I don't even know what. I mean, to staying in their homes or scaring people into anxiety, and then it causes a whole bunch of stuff. Don't believe everything you hear, especially with this whole COVID situation right now. There's a lot of fear-mongering going on. Do your research. Get it from a reliable source. Fox News and CNN is not a reliable source. I'm sorry, people. I'm putting it out there.
Well, and more like multiple sources. Like, don't just take one source. Check to see if it's actually accurate by looking at other primary sources. Come on.
I want to see how many people I'm going to piss off with that Fox News CNN comment. I guarantee you it'll piss somebody off.
It'll pretty much piss anybody off because CNN is liberal and Fox is not. So, it'll piss anybody off. I don't know how they're labeled these days. I don't care. But yeah, it'll pretty much guarantee to piss somebody off.
I'm sorry, guys.
But it's true.
I'm sorry, guys. It's true.
And also during this whole thing, though, because of all of the almost fear-mongering by news outlets, I'm like, I can't even look at news. At first, when they were talking about the shutdowns, I was looking just to see what would be open, making sure grocery stores and stuff like that were open. after that, I'm like, I had to stop looking at it because it's pretty much just the same thing every day. Oh, the death toll is higher, the amount of people they have is higher, the amount of people that they're testing is higher. Yes, we get it. Okay, stay at home. Got it. I don't need to hear the same thing over and over every day, because then it's just like, I'm going to give myself a heart attack.
Well, and so many people believe everything that's posted on Facebook. Somehow, I don't know when it happened, but somehow Facebook became this like news outlet. And it's like, people, it's just Facebook. It's social media. It is not reliable. If you want to know the truth, go to the CDC's website. If you want a truth, go to, the USDA's website. Like, go to a reputable website.
100%. Facebook, honestly. And it was also because I kept on seeing the same bullshit targeted media. Like, it was media targeted specifically for me. I just kept on seeing the same stuff over and over, and less things of like what my friends and family are doing. So I was like, you know what? F it. I'm out.
I just miss the days of Facebook just being, look at my cute puppy, look at my new baby. That's what Facebook is for. Especially for somebody like me who's farther away from my family, I keep it because I want to see what Connie's doing. I want to see what Luke's doing. I want to see what my dad is doing. Like, that is why I have Facebook. I don't have Facebook to get on there and somebody write, 200,000 people are expected to die from COVID. Like, that is not your job. That is the news's job.
Yes.
So stop using Facebook for gossip. The end.
It does help spread gossip because, I've gotten a lot of texts, screenshot of Facebook being like, oh my God, do you see this? I can't believe it. And it's like, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, you can get some info from there, but then fact check it. Don't just take it at face value.
Yeah. It shouldn't be your Google home search. It shouldn't be your news outlet 100%. That is for sure. Should definitely be fact.
I feel like social media is one of the reasons this whole pandemic has gotten blown so big. I mean, it's gotten bigger anyway because of people not staying home, but I feel like social media just fuels the fire of the gossip and the fearing and everything.
Oh, it definitely does. Both the media and social media. All of the medias.
All you bad media people.
They don't help the situation.
No, they don't. Just love on your loved ones, look at the new baby pictures, and call it a day.
Did you say the new booby pictures? Because that's what I heard. I was like, where do you get your pictures? What's going on?
Man, there's boobs on Facebook? I didn't know they were allowed on there. No, I said baby pictures, baby. Because, we've got...
baby. That makes a lot more sense.
I like seeing all the babies in the family, the nieces, the nephews, all of them. So that's one thing Facebook is great for.
100%.
I'm not trying to totally hate on Facebook, just on the silly stuff. All right, shall we recap?
Maybe. We're just saying that maybe Facebook shouldn't be your news outlet. That's all.
Yes. No, not maybe. Definitely should not be your news outlet. There is no maybe.
Honestly, though, I think that gossip could probably be a fucking series. Next time, friends that gossip.
It could be.
I don't know.
But
it could be, though. We'll see. But basically, gossip can be harmful. Sometimes it can just be for information. You hate it, you love it. It's gossip.
And shut down the ones that you know are false. Don't be a part of the gossiping train.
And do what you feel is right. If you don't like it, stop it. And if it doesn't really matter, then just say, meh, whatever. Just let it roll off your back. Who cares?
That's usually the best way to handle it.
That's just how I pretty much handle it. Mitchell kind of gets a little bit, my brother kind of gets a little confrontational. He'd be like, so I heard you said this to Dad. I'm like, so? That's what she said.
And what?
Well, it is exactly what you said. You were pissed. Sorry, I told Dad that you were pissed. Shouldn't he already know? Doesn't he already know? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. I usually just let it roll off unless it's a really big topic that I feel like I should say something about. But otherwise, I'm like, whatever. You think what you want. I know the truth. That's all that matters.
Well, but see, Mitchell doesn't like any of the family gossip, so that's why he's more confrontational about it, because he doesn't like it and he wants everyone to stop, but it's just not gonna happen.
So I'm gonna get on Facebook when we get off of here, and I'm gonna post on Facebook some ridiculous story about Mitchell and see what happens.
Go for it. Like, God, why is he saying this stuff about me? Oh, like, Mitchell, I'm so emotional. Oh.
Mitchell, I'm going to put Mitchell started the firehouse on fire.
He can't stop the fire.
Oh, that went even better than I thought it was going to.
Anytime.
All right, so to recap, even though we kind of recapped already, don't be a gossiper. Stop gossip in its tracks. If you are being gossiped about, let it roll off your back.
If you don't like it, then confront someone.
There you go. And be the bigger person. We kind of didn't say that, but we've talked about that before in previous podcasts, which just kind of goes along with letting it roll off your back. Be the bigger person. Just let it go. Obviously, the person that's gossiping about you doesn't give a crap.
Don't hold on to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because our family holds on to it. And they're not necessarily happier for it, let me tell you.
Especially with our family. I just let it roll, because there's no point in even bringing it up, because it's just never going to be over.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be brought up for the next 20 years. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Rietta.
I'm Connie.
And thank you for listening.